maybe shed some new light on this. But if they're missing angles, go ahead and solve them first. Before you do anything, what will you start with? The interior angle of this big polygon, right? You should recognize that there's that big polygon on the outside. That is what you're going to focus on, right? And so you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So n is equal to 7. That's the only n that I will have in my work. I will not have any other ones show up. Okay. So let's. You can start with B. You can start with A. I will start with A because I see a triangle, right? The outside of that polygon, right? Make two of the sides that I want here. So I know that these two angles are going to be the same. So the formula that I have given you is angle A, right? Since it's a triangle, we would start with 180 degrees minus this top one here, right? And that's your interior angle. So you need to find that first. So somewhere on this paper, right, I'll go interior angle of a 7-sided polygon is 7 minus 2 times 180 divided by 7. Yeah, not 2 like I did yesterday, right? So we have, I'm just going to go, that's 128.57. Okay, so this I'm just going to kind of circle. That's very important to us. Maybe I'll place that in my polygon, right? This angle right here represents every single angle inside this polygon, right? So there it is. So for this particular triangle, I'm going to take that one away, so the 128.57, right? And I need to split the remaining degrees into 2, right? Because these two kind of split it evenly. And so I get, when I do that, I'm just going to go off my key here, that is 25.72, right? So you just found angle A, which is this. Okay, so far so good. You're along for the ride. Okay, next, some of you might be tempted to go for C. Don't go for it. Do you notice that there's two diagonals that make up that angle? Stay away from those for now. Focus on the polygon, right? The pink line here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So to find B, angle B, it's a trapezoid, which it's a quadrilateral, which is a 4-sided shape. So I know that the interior angles inside here would add up to 360 degrees. Okay, so I subtract 2 green ones, right? 2 green ones right here. You're like, there's a green one right there, Mr. Dirksen. Why don't I just, no, this green one goes all along, right? Can't do that one. So you have 2 of these angles there. So 2 times 128.57. Right, so 360 minus 2, and that remainder gets split in half because B and these two are basically the same. Okay, and so angle B, if you go 360 minus 2 of those and divide it by 2, you get 51.43. Okay, so you've got that figured out. B is done. And I will actually write down, right, this is 51.43, and this right here is also 51.43. Okay? So you found them both, right? And so you know A, which is 25.72, right? So now all that remains is to find this angle right here, C. So you know that it's 128.57 all along. So angle C is 128.57 minus angle A minus, can I say minus angle B technically, right? I just don't want to put B and B because then you're going to be confused, right? But you should recognize that that's the same. 128.57 minus angle A, which is 25.72 minus 51.43. And angle C is 51.42. And this is just a rounding issue here. Technically, if you had used all the decimals here, all three of these, or these two, sorry, would be the same, 51.43. But that's okay. We won't sweat that, right? Like you just go with it, you just round, and it's just easier that way. Okay. And maybe the observation I wanted to make here, this is going to be on today's AC, right? So this is a good warm up. This AB, right? AB and CD, we're wondering if those two lines are parallel. Okay, we're wondering. We have a pretty good sense that it might. Okay, so what I will do here is, and now I'm out of highlighters, I'll use the blue one. I just have to be careful. This transversal here connects the two lines in question. So I'm wondering, it's like, hey, this one right here and this one right here, what are those? Alternate interior. So I know that this is 51.43 here, and this I just found is 51.42, right? Close enough. If it's ever off by 0.01 or something like that, we're not going to sweat it. So AB is parallel to CD, right? Because alternate interior angles are congruent. Okay, so that's when you state that conclusion. And don't use consecutive interior here, right? Like these two are not consecutive interior, because that would mean you'd have to use the whole angle here, right? This whole thing, and this would be consecutive interior, but you don't know what this is, right? So alternate interior was my go-to here. Okay. So this is your grand finale. You have to tell me whether or not they are parallel. So if it's not, then you would just cross this or just write it in words. I'm fine with that. And why is it? Name and right what's true about them, right? So those are like kind of the three components to make your final conclusion, right? Gianna, is that good? I bet you there's other folks in here that were like, yeah, thanks for doing that, right? So there we go.